Good day, all of you beautiful souls. Today's word is vulnerability, right? And I think Lewis Hose talks about it really good. This dogma mask or label, alpha male or something, right? This egotistic label, right? And it's why I'm always preaching to discover and love yourself on the inside, right? Where you're able to let go of all these labels and these dogma masks. And the beautiful thing is this is for all souls, right? Not just guys or gals, which is not important, right? But it's for all souls. And I think oftentimes in this social media heavy, world, people go to the coffee shop and they just egotistically vent. Like, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe she did this, and so forth, right? The opposite is how you have healthy relationships, right? If you have healthy relationships through being vulnerable, as what she's doing is really hurting me. It's really affecting me. His behavior, is really bothering me, or these difficult times are really starting to affect me, right? You're acknowledging and you're being vulnerable, which requires strength. It requires a lot of inner strength, right, to be open with your emotions and open with what's bothering you or what's affecting you, right? And it's not the opposite, which is complaining, like, oh, she's a something, or her behavior is this or that. It's not. It's like, her slacking, is really starting to affect me because I'm having to pick up all of the extra work, and it's really starting to bother me, right? That's just being vulnerable with your emotions. And then the next step after that is solving the problem. Like, okay, well, her behavior is really starting to affect me, right? So, okay, so what am I going to do, right? And it's the opposite of just the toxic side of things, where you just complain through the ego, like, oh, she's a slacker, she doesn't, right, she shouldn't be here. And it doesn't lead to any solving of the problem, right? It's just complaining or venting, and the suppressing the issue until the suppression eventually can become depression. So the opposite, as I mentioned, is building the habit of being vulnerable and just open with all your relationships, right? And as I said, you got to be vulnerable with others for them to be vulnerable with you, right? If you want to have more love and appreciation, you got to give more love and appreciation first to receive, right, more love and appreciation. Well, vulnerability is the same thing, right? So in all your relationships, right, start practicing the healthy side of things, right? The loving side of things. And you got to practice it too with yourself first, right? As I mentioned, right, in one of my other videos, it's a matter of stopping and responding to life. Actually, we as human beings have the ability to stop and think and respond. We have the ability, once we discover our true selves on the inside, to be self-aware, where we can discover that one voice, and we now have this self-awareness where we're aware of our emotional state of being, right? We're aware of our emotions. We're aware of the different feelings that are arising, and then we're able to choose and decide with our free will. It's only free when you discover yourself, where you want to direct your emotions, where you want your emotions to go, right? So through vulnerability, all you're doing is just acknowledging, right, those emotions that are not so good, right? And then obviously through that acknowledgement, you're able to then solve and find a solution, right, afterwards. But you got to acknowledge it and accept it first, which comes through surrendering the ego, right? Which starts by discovering your true self on the inside. This is vulnerability and how it can help create very healthy relationships. And I'm not sure what's going on with the camera, right? And the color focus on this thing. You all have a beautiful day, beautiful night.